In this video tutorial, I'm going to walk you through the process on how to complete a 3D SketchUp model of a Minecraft creeper. So the first thing that I will do to get started is I want to show you what the creeper actually looks like in orthographic views, these three views right here, top, front, right side, and the isometric view, what the actual creeper looks like in 3D model form. Okay, so currently I'm in layout right now. We're going to be doing everything else today in SketchUp instead, the sister program of layout. So to get started, you can either open SketchUp 8 or any other version of SketchUp that you currently have installed on your computer. In the Tech Lab we have SketchUp 2013, so I'm going to open that one up. So I'm going to minimize this window for now and locate SketchUp 2013. Once SketchUp 2013 loads, you may get a template window that asks you to set the template. If you are able to get that template, you want to select the millimeter as your template. But as of right now, I did not get that option, so I'm simply going to go to Window, Preferences, and I want to make sure that my template is set to millimeters architectural design. Okay, I need to have millimeters in my design. So hit OK, and I'm going to go to File, New, just to make sure that the changes take effect. Okay. Now I'm going to make sure that I have the top, front, right side, all those views on my toolbar, and the way I can do that is by going into View, Toolbars, make sure that I have both the large tool set and the views selected. You don't need the warehouse. I'm going to get rid of that for now. So the views and the large tool set, getting started tool set does not need to be activated at this time. It's just duplicate tools. Alright, now I'm going to get rid of the person by clicking on him with the mouse pointer, hit delete, and I'm going to select the top view to get started. Okay, so I'm looking down on the creeper. So from the bottom, and I'm working my way up. How am I going to do that? Let's go back to the layout. On my layout, I'm showing that I'm going to be building the base. Okay, the base is 23 by 23. And I know that by looking at the top, it's 23 is the same length as the bottom. So we're going to start off with a square that's 23 by 23. So I'm going to do that by taking the rectangle tool, start on one point on the origin, click once, and drag the mouse up towards the top right side of the screen. Now I'm going to simply type on my keyboard 23, 23, and you'll notice the bottom right corner of the screen, you'll see in the dimensions box it says 23, 23. 23 is on my x-axis for the first dimension, and the second dimension is my y, 23, and that's basically giving me the other diagonal, or the other point along the diagonal. So the origin is at 0, 0, and the second point of the rectangle, the diagonal, is going to be set for 23, 23. Hit enter. Alright, we're going to zoom in using the zoom to extents, and there's my rectangle. Or I'm sorry, this is not a rectangle at this time. I used the rectangle tool, but this is a square. Now I'm going to use the rectangle to create the shapes of the feet. Okay, so I'm going to go in here again to the layout, and the feet are 10 by 10. Okay, so I'm going to go click on one endpoint, drag over 10, 10. I'm going to come over in this endpoint, 10, 10. And repeat those steps for all four corners, all four legs. Alright. Next thing I'm going to do then is to erase these lines here. Okay. And I'm going to rotate on the isometric view. We're going to lift these up now. Let's go back to the layout. We need to lift them up a total height of 10 millimeters. So I'm going to go back and lift up using the push-pull tool, select the face, 10, enter. Now I'm going to click on this face and then drag it up all the way over to this edge, and it's the same height. Do the same thing with this one. This is a shortcut, so I don't have to enter 10 each time. There are the four legs, or the 4 feet I should say. Now let's go back to the top view. At this time I'm going to turn each one of these legs into a component. So in order for me to do that, I'm going to triple click on each piece. So triple click, right click, make component, triple click, right click, make component, and so on and so forth for the last two. Now I'm going to create a square on top from diagonal, this endpoint all the way across the diagonal to the opposite endpoint, because we're now going to create the body. Now I'm going to take the offset tool and I'm going to come in 1.5 millimeters. Okay, and the reason I know it's going to be 1.5 millimeters is because I know that the distance, let's take my measurement, from here to here is going to be 20. Okay, so 1.5 plus 1.5 here is going to give us the distance we need. Let's go back, and I'm going to erase these lines that I created on the outside so that all we have left behind is just this square. Now I'm going to rotate to the isometric view, and I'm going to lift this up, this face, up 30 millimeters. So I'm going to type 30, enter. Zoom out using the wheel of my mouse. Let's go back to the front. This is the front of our drawing. Let's go to the isometric. I'm going to start a sketch right on top of here then as well. But before I do that, I want to turn this into a component. Right click, make component. Alright. And I'm going to once again do a square here. And I need to offset it this time. Instead of an inset like we did last time, we're going to do an offset. So I'm going to go 1.5 out. Alright. And then we're going to push-pull this up the distance that we need to go. Let's go back into our layout and check that out. It's going to be at 20 millimeters in height. So I'm going to push that up 20. Zoom out. I'm going to need to do the same thing here. Alright. Then I can get rid of these lines inside here because they're no longer necessary because we now have the head. Alright, so there is your creeper at this point. The only thing left now is to create the eyes and the mouth by going off of the measurements that I get from the layout. So in order for us to do that, I'm going to go back into the layout and I'm going to figure out what we need to do here. So this is about 3. So once again, we're going to set that up so that I can do an offset. So 1.5. Let's see if that will work. May need to go more than that. Let's try 3. I'm going to undo, so Control Z. We'll go 3. Alright. And each one of these eyes is going to be 5 by 5. So I'm going to take the rectangle tool, go 5, 5. I'm going to do another one over here. 5, 5. Okay. And then we can come and create the middle piece. The distance here is 7. So 7, 5. Alright, and then we can go down. Let's make a piece right here. Do the same thing here. And looks pretty good to me. So if we want to go lower, we can, but this looks fine. Oh, made a mistake. Control Z. Zoom in. Get rid of these. And this is where you can change things if you need to. So let's take a measurement from here to here. That's 1.3. There's one here. 1.3. The height is 4.1. Height is 4.3. So that's off a little bit. Let's look at the height here. 1.6. So we can then modify it as much as we need to get it where it needs to be. So that's 5. We have it going down 5. So I can take my move tool, click on this edge, take it all the way down to 5. Take this one all the way down to 5. Alright. Let's go back in the layout. We can also do a measurement from here to here. That's a 1.5. Let's check to make sure that we have the 1.5 there. by using our dimension tool. That's 2.5. It's a little too much, so we can bring this back to 1.5, and then we got to bring this back to 5. Same thing here. Alright, there we go. And then we can erase some more lines here. And there's our creeper. And if we want to make some modifications to it at this time, we can just get rid of these measurements. And then we can push-pull these in 1.5. We went the wrong way. Let's try that again. Push in 1.5. These are the eye sockets. 1.5. And there we go. Let's go back and look and see what we have here. Looks good to me. Now that the creeper is finished, the last thing we can do is make sure that we have everything turned into components. This last piece is not, so I'm going to triple click, right click, make component. And then I'm going to go in and change the colors. So I can go into my paint bucket, load the different color palette, and then I can make it the green and black for the eyes if I wanted to. Go with the green and the green head. See if there's any better greens there. Doesn't look like there are. Let's just stick with that. Okay, and then for the face, you need to triple click and then edit just oh, made a mistake. We need to actually just click on certain faces. There, we can do this one right here. That one. All those inside pieces. You just have to click a couple times until you're only editing just the pieces you want. It may take you a couple seconds. Alright. And there you have it. There's your finished creeper. And then the next step would then be to 3D print it, and you'd be able to review the tutorials that are available for printing on the MakerBots. So there it is. That's a finished product, and you can save this. Going File, Save a SKP first. Okay, so creeper, and save it. And then you want to also do a export STL. Yes. And then creeper as well, creeper.stl. And I may already have one, so it may ask me to duplicate. Nope, don't. So that's it. So you have both files saved, and you're now ready for the 3D printing part of this process.